Welcome to Dreamer's Realm, where stories whisper you to sleep. Chapter 1: The Miniature Store of Dreams. You may begin by gently closing your eyes and letting the quiet settle around you. Now imagine yourself walking down a cobblestone street at the edge of evening, where the last golden threads of sunlight have slipped away behind rooftops, and everything feels hushed, like the world is holding its breath. The street is empty, except for the soft glow of window lights behind lace curtains and the rhythmic whisper of your footsteps beneath you. The air carries the faintest scent of lavender and aged wood. You inhale slowly. There's a subtle sweetness too, like vanilla, or perhaps the pages of a forgotten book just opened again after many years. You don't know exactly where you're going, only that you feel drawn forward, as if something or someone is quietly waiting. That's when you see it. A small wooden storefront nestled between ivy-covered brick buildings. Above the arched window, in gold lettering that twinkles softly beneath strings of tiny warm lights, reads, "The Miniature Store of Dreams." You pause, heart stirred by something you can't quite name. Curiosity, nostalgia, wonder, without meaning to. Your hand reaches for the brass handle. The door opens with the gentlest creak, and a soft bell tinkles overhead, delicate as wind chimes in a summer breeze. The scent that greets you inside is warm and earthy, beeswax candles, dried roses, and polished oak. It feels safe, familiar, like stepping into the memory of a place you loved as a child, but one that never really existed. Not in the waking world, at least. Soft music plays somewhere in the background. No melody you recognize, but it sounds like stars falling slowly into a velvet pond. Or maybe it's the hum of dreams weaving themselves together. You step in. All around you, the shop glows with golden light. Wooden shelves curve along the walls, each one holding rows of tiny glass domes. Inside each dome sits a miniature world, delicate creatures, mossy homes, tiny cottages with windows that shimmer, mushrooms with glowing caps, fairies caught mid-dance, gardens of eternal bloom. The details are impossibly intricate. Every petal, every feather, every ripple of a pond or twist of a tree branch, handcrafted, alive with story. In the center of the room, Two floral armchairs flank the small round table, upon which rests a single dome, a bouquet of roses so small and perfect. They seem to pulse with breath. You wander slowly, fingertips hovering just above the glass, eyes wide in quiet awe. There's no one else here, no shopkeeper, no sound of footsteps, only the distant hum of wind outside the half-open window and the soft twinkle of fairy lights tracing the wooden beams. On the far side of the room, carved into a tall bookshelf, is a phrase that makes your breath catch. Home of the Starborn signs. 12 glass domes sit neatly in a row beneath it. Each one houses a miniature dwelling, unique, magical, unlike the others. You recognize symbols etched onto each base: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, and on through the zodiac. Each model feels personal, as if waiting for the right visitor to come along. You feel drawn to one. You're not sure why. Perhaps it's the soft glow that seems to flicker from within. Perhaps it's the way your hand seems to lift on its own. You reach toward it and gently lift the glass. A rush of warmth surrounds you, like the hush before a dream begins. The scent of wildflowers fills your lungs. A breeze you didn't know existed brushes your skin. The dome dissolves into light, and suddenly, you are no longer in the shop. You are inside the world of the miniature, and your journey has just begun. Chapter 2, Aries, the House of Courage. As the soft golden light of the miniature shop fades behind you, you feel the world shift once more, like the turning of a page. The air warms slightly, a gentle wind brushes your cheek. And when you open your eyes again, you're standing before a house unlike any you've ever seen. It rises from a circle of moss-covered earth, framed by stepping stones that lead to a wooden stairway. The house is bold, its roof shaped in sharp, striking angles, painted in fierce crimson and sunset orange, glowing as if lit from within. It doesn't feel loud, only certain of its place in the world, certain of its purpose. This is the House of Aries, the first of the 12. Your footsteps land softly on the stones, each one worn smooth, forming a confident path around the base. Tufts of wild greenery spill from planters and natural pockets in the earth. Sturdy blooms in bold reds and golden yellows, thriving despite the wind that moves ceaselessly through the air. A small bonsai tree stands just to the side, its shape wind-swept but resilient, its roots deep and unmoving. Even in miniature, this garden pulses with life, with direction. As you ascend the front steps, the wind catches your hair again, fresh, brisk, and alive. It whistles gently past the rounded window above the porch, whispering stories of far-off peaks and sunrise journeys. From inside the house, a light flickers, warm, welcoming, like the glow of a distant campfire calling you home. You open the door. Inside, the house is alive with quiet energy. The walls are made of smooth stone, touched by ivy that slips gently along the edges of the windowsill. A round window opens to a view of a breathtaking sunset, orange and gold spilling across mountain silhouettes. As if the house has captured the most courageous moment of the day, twilight's first fire. The bedroom is simple, yet grounded in strength. A solid wood bed sits tucked beneath a gentle arch of shelves. The scent of cedar wood and faint sandalwood fills the air, earthy, bold, grounding. There's a soft woolen blanket across the bed, gray and warm, and beside it, a small wooden nightstand where a tiny music box plays the gentlest melody you've ever heard. It's not the kind of tune that asks you to sleep. It simply reminds you that rest is safe, that bravery can pause. Above the bed, a lantern glows steadily, casting soft shadows that dance lightly across the floorboards. A staircase winds upward toward a quiet loft, and from the upper balcony you can see stars beginning to pierce the sky, each one bright and sure, like sparks of a dream waiting to begin. This place hums with motion, and yet you feel calm, not sleepy from stillness, but sleepy the way one might feel after a long, beautiful day, the kind of tired that makes you proud. In this house, you are reminded of the quiet kind of courage, the courage to begin, the courage to trust your instincts, the courage to rest, even when your heart is full of fire. After spending time exploring every glowing corner, you slowly step back outside. The wind greets you again, playful, but no longer rushing. It knows you now. It lingers like a friend. You stand in the little yard at the edge of the mossy path, where red poppies and marigolds bloom under starlight, their petals curling softly in the night breeze. Overhead, the sky is vast, deep, and endlessly sprinkled with light. The stars seem to shimmer just for you, like they're listening. You take a deep breath in, then out. You may choose to continue this journey, or perhaps you're already feeling the pull of sleep, gently tugging at the edges of your awareness. And if that's the case, let yourself stop here. Let your thoughts grow quiet. Let the fire within you soften to an ember, glowing peacefully through the night. I'll be right here, waiting to tell you the next story, whenever you're ready. Chapter 3, Taurus, the House of Comfort. The path beneath your feet feels softer now, more grounded, with each gentle step forward. The world seems to slow, not because it must, but because it wants to. You find yourself standing before a home unlike any other you've seen so far, nestled into a grassy hillside. Its roof thick with moss and wild green growth, curved like a gentle wave cradling the sky. This is the house of Taurus. The walls are creamy white, gently textured, with ivy cascading in slow curls along the doorframe and window ledges. Warm amber light glows through rounded windows, as though the house itself were quietly breathing. A soft lamp flickers beside the wooden door, casting a golden halo over a welcome mat woven from natural fiber. As you approach, the scent of freshly baked bread meets you, rich, yeasty, and still warm, as if a loaf has just been pulled from the oven. Mixed in the air is a hint of lavender and the earthiness of nearby potted herbs. The front garden is simple but beautiful, lined with thick green bushes and small flowering shrubs, pink heather, delicate chamomile, and velvety sage. The stepping stones beneath your feet are smooth, set in an inviting curve that leads up to the stairs of the porch. The porch is framed by lush curtains of deep green velvet tied back with soft rope. You pause, noticing a small round table and 2 wooden chairs waiting as if for an afternoon tea. A small clay pot sits at the center of the table, holding a sprig of rosemary, just enough to release its calming aroma in the breeze. You open the door slowly. It creaks in the softest way, like a whisper. Inside, the world melts into calm. The floor is dark wood, warm to the touch, with a woven rug beneath your feet. The room smells of aged oak, cinnamon, and honeyed butter. Velvet drapes frame the windows, drawn open to let in the soft starlight. A cushioned bench sits under one of them, and beside it, a low wooden shelf filled with well-loved books and ceramic vases. The fireplace crackles softly in the corner, its flame steady and welcoming. You listen. The sound of wood settling, the sigh of flames, and beyond it all, the gentle rhythm of your own breath beginning to slow. The bedroom is tucked neatly under the porch, behind a curved archway, where a cozy bed dressed in moss green and soft linen awaits. The pillows are plump, the mattress thick and inviting. You sit down and feel the way your body sinks slightly, held and supported. The walls here are curved and close in just enough to feel protected, but not confined. On a nearby nightstand, a small candle flickers beside a steaming cup of chamomile tea. You take it in, this space, this peace, this unspoken invitation to rest. Every detail in the house whispers of care. The polished wood handrails, the smooth clay jars on the shelf, the knitted fro folded perfectly across the armchair upstairs. Outside, the stars shine brightly in the clear night sky, casting silver light on the curved rooftop, where a single tree grows tall and proud from the chimney, its leaves softly rustling in the breeze. As you step back onto the porch, the cool air greets you once more, brushing your skin like silk. You gaze up at the sky, its canvas dotted with stars, and breathe deeply. Everything in you has slowed, your thoughts, your heart, your breath. You may continue, if you wish, toward the next house. Or perhaps you'd rather pause here for just a little while longer. Let your body rest. Let your spirit be held. Let the warmth of the house of Taurus cradle you tonight. Sleep if you like, and if you do, know this: the story will wait, the path will wait. I'll be right here, ready to walk with you again, whenever you're ready. Chapter 4, Gemini, the House of Curiosity. You take your next step, and the air seems to shift, lighter now, crisper. There's a breeze in the distance, playful and quick, curling around your shoulders like a question waiting to be asked. The world around you begins to brighten in little bursts of color, like a dream slowly unwrapping itself, and soon you find yourself standing before a most whimsical home. This is the House of Gemini. The structure rises with cheerful charm, built into a gentle hill, framed by 2 leafy trees, one golden, one green, dancing slightly in the evening wind. The rooftop is rounded and mossy, but dotted with curious things, colorful bunting strung across the balcony, a chimney that leans just a little to the side, and a bright bundle of balloons tied near the top stair. From the outside, the house feels alive, like it might giggle or wink. The front garden is wild but intentional, with yellow daisies, pink snapdragons, and bluebells springing up in playful clusters. Round stepping stones form a wavy path through the mossy grass. Each stone feels slightly different beneath your feet, one smooth, one warm, one cool. You smile. It's as if even the ground here wants to surprise you. You take the wooden steps up, where a small porch opens into the main entryway. Tiny lanterns flicker along the rail, casting soft shadows that sway with the breeze. The scent in the air is a lovely mix of fresh paper, citrus zest, and something sweet, like orange blossom pea just poured. You step inside and immediately feel the hum of movement, not frantic, but full of possibility. The space is layered, split into cozy nooks and winding staircases, each leading somewhere unexpected. Bookshelves curve like question marks, holding novels in different languages, old maps, and journals with handwritten notes. A typewriter sits on a small floating desk, its keys well worn and ready. One room is painted in soft turquoise, filled with postcards and paper birds hanging from the ceiling. Another has 4 cushions under a round skylight, perfect for stargazing or whispering secrets to the moon. The bed is tucked against the far wall, cozy and colorful, striped in oranges, aquas, and golds. A soft quilt invites you in, while above it, a cluster of notes, drawings, and dried flowers are pinned like memories. You notice little details, a glass jar of marbles on the shelf, a stack of letters tied with string, a wind chime made of spoons and shells that jingles faintly when the window opens. And through that open window, the breeze returns, gently now, stirring the green curtains and making the papers on the desk flutter like wings. There's a sound beneath the wind, the soft scratch of a fountain pen, the turning of a page, a quiet laugh drifting in from the other room. It feels like someone has just stepped out, but left their wonder behind for you to find. The whole house feels like a story in motion. It stirs your thoughts, your dreams, your memories of childhood, but instead of waking you up, it soothes you. Because here, curiosity doesn't need to be answered. It only needs to be felt. As you explore the final room, a loft space lit by fairy lights and filled with old board games and a telescope, you begin to feel it. That soft descent into peace. Your mind may still be full of wonder, but your body is ready to rest. You step out onto the tiny balcony one last time. The balloons beside you sway gently, like they too are dreaming. Below, the garden glows in the moonlight, and far off, the wind carries the sound of music that may or may not be real. You stand quietly for a moment, then breathe, long, slow, and deep. You can continue if you wish. There are still more houses to see, more signs to visit, or you can rest now. Let the breeze carry you. Let the pages close softly. Let your thoughts drift like the balloons outside, light, free, and content. You are safe. You are held. You can return whenever you like. I'll be right here, ready to guide you into the next chapter of dreams. Chapter 5, Cancer, the House of Memories. The path winds gently now, quieter with every step. The breeze has softened, and the stars above seem to glow with a warmer light. You walk slower here, not out of fatigue, but reverence. There's a sense that something sacred waits ahead. And then you see it, a soft, curved rooftop nestled beneath a canopy of flowering vines, golden lamps glowing on either side of a pale green door. The House of Cancer. It feels like a page from a well-loved storybook. Every curve, every corner crafted with gentle hands and deeper meaning. The roof is covered in rose bushes, blooming in creams and blush pinks, their scent sweet and familiar. The walls are round, warm in color, and dappled with light from old lamps glowing behind lace-curtained windows. The front garden is quiet and lovingly tended. Clusters of small pink flowers bloom at the edges, while soft grass cushions the stone path underfoot. In the center stands a tiny fountain, water gently trickling in circles, making a soothing, ever-present sound that hushes the world around it. A floral armchair rests near the steps, facing the fountain like it's waiting for someone to come home. You realize this place doesn't just welcome you, it remembers you. You reach the wooden door and step inside. The air is warm and fragrant, a blend of rose water, old books, and something sweetly baked, maybe cinnamon bread or vanilla custard. The lighting is soft and golden, like lamplight caught in amber. Velvet curtains in faded pastel green frame the windows. The wallpaper is delicate, with little vintage flowers dancing along its surface like memories brought to life. To your left, a low armchair wrapped in floral fabric sits near a shelf full of photo frames and letters. On the wall, there's a painting of a house by the sea, and beside it, a handwritten recipe tucked into a tiny wooden frame. You move gently through the home, like you might wake someone if you step too loudly. Upstairs, you find a small bedroom with twin armchairs, each facing a window that looks out onto the stars. The bed is covered in a faded quilt stitched with care, and on the nightstand glows a lamp with a porcelain base, its soft yellow light warming the entire room. This place feels like a grandmother's hug, like bedtime stories read aloud, like the silence after a long day, when all you want is to be held. Outside the window, white roses climb the balcony railing. The night air flows in, gentle and cool, carrying the faint sound of the fountain below and the rustle of leaves in the garden. You breathe in, slow and deep, and suddenly all the walls within you soften too. You don't need to be anyone else here. You don't need to try or explain or prove. You are simply allowed to be, to feel, to rest. As you return downstairs, the little lamps still glow. The chair by the door still waits, and the fountain still sings its soft, lulling song. You step out onto the porch, pausing one last time in the stillness of this loving place. You may continue forward if your heart is ready to explore again, or perhaps, just for tonight, you'll stay, sink into the chair, close your eyes, let the house remember for you. Sleep if you like, and when you're ready, I'll be here. The next house will be waiting, with its own story to tell. Chapter 6, Leo, the House of Light. The path brightens as you move forward. It feels warmer here, not just the air, but the atmosphere itself. There's a golden glow on the horizon, soft and beckoning, like the sun rising gently after a long, velvet night. As you round the bend, your breath catches. Standing tall before you is a house unlike any other. Bold yet graceful, it glimmers in the starlight. This is the house of Leo. Its roof curves high, majestic and lush, with green moss softening its royal form. Golden lights shine from every window, casting their glow across an elegant garden below. The entrance is framed by arches and warm-colored stone. Two spiral staircases, one flowing downward, one upward, embrace the house like a pair of golden ribbons. The garden at its feet blooms in royal colors, rich orange marigolds, bold red zinnias, and deep violet asters. They bloom with confidence, flourishing in full view of the world. This garden doesn't hide in shadows. It shines. You walk slowly on a path of polished stone. The steps feel warm beneath your feet, like sunlit marble. A subtle scent of sandalwood and citrus greets you, elegant and refreshing. Like a favorite memory, the door opens as if expecting you, and you step inside. The first thing you notice is the height of the ceiling. A soaring dome glows with golden light, the warm hues bouncing off velvet curtains and rich wooden floors. Everything here is radiant, yet not overwhelming. The light here doesn't shout, it shines. To your right, a small fireplace crackles beneath a golden-framed portrait of a lion. Majestic, calm, and proud. Beside it, a single velvet chair sits like a throne, just the right size to curl into. Above, a grand balcony overlooks the room, its balustrade carved with sun motifs. A chandelier of delicate crystals sways gently with the breeze from high-arched windows. Silken drapes in amber and gold float softly at the edges. There's music here too, faint but unmistakable, like a string quartet playing from a distant dream. The bedroom is tucked beneath the balcony, hidden just enough to feel intimate, yet open enough to bask in the light. The bed is dressed in golden linens and velvet throws, pillows plush and inviting. As you sit, you notice how everything is both regal and welcoming. It doesn't ask you to admire, it invites you to belong. A journal lies open on a side table, its pen resting in the crease. The pages are filled with dreams, with bold declarations and tender hopes. You stand for a moment at the center of the room and breathe in deeply. The air feels like sunlight captured in silk. You're reminded of all the times you shined brightly, and all the times you quietly carried light for others, even when they didn't see it. Here in the house of Leo, pride is not arrogance, it is self-love, it is worth, it is knowing your place in the world and allowing yourself to glow. You step out onto the small balcony, looking down at the blooming garden and the gentle spiral stairs. The night sky shimmers above, the stars winking like old friends. You feel warm inside and out. You feel seen. You feel whole. You can move forward if your heart still stirs for more, or you may pause here if your spirit longs to rest. Sink into the velvet chair. Let your thoughts fade into soft candlelight. Let the lion on the wall stand guard through the night. You are safe. You are radiant. You are loved. And when you're ready for the next story, I'll be right here. Chapter 7, Virgo, the House of Quiet Order Rice Plant. The path becomes quiet here, not just quieter in sound, but quieter in feeling. There's no grand flourish, no burst of color, only stillness, simplicity, and a gentle clarity that draws you in. You walk slowly now, with intention, and ahead of you stands a house that feels like a quiet breath. Clean lines, balanced proportions, a sense of peace before you even step inside. This is the house of Virgo. The home rises with graceful simplicity, its form functional, its beauty unspoken, a soft beige exterior with pale wooden accents, framed by vines that climb neatly around the corners. A round window glows from the top, like the warm eye of a lighthouse guiding you toward rest. The front garden is tidy and composed. Square stepping stones cross a perfectly trimmed patch of green moss. Near the base of the house, a single bike leans gently against the wall, its presence quiet but purposeful. To the side, a potted ficus stands upright, its glossy leaves stretching toward the stars. No clutter, no noise, only what is needed and nothing more. The air smells like clean cotton and warm cedar wood. Faintly herbal, faintly floral, as if someone had just brewed a gentle cup of chamomile and opened the window wide to let the breeze pass through. You hear it now, the soft, rhythmic chime of a wind bell swaying outside. The kind of sound that lingers long enough to calm you, then fades before it distracts. You open the front door and step inside. The space is open, yet perfectly defined. To your right, a small desk sits by the wall. On it, a wooden clock with smooth, ticking hands, a notebook neatly open, a pen resting diagonally across the page. Pinned above are reminders, schedules, and gentle affirmations, not overwhelming, just enough. On the opposite side of the room is a bed tucked in tight white linens, its headboard made of light oak. A warm reading lamp casts a soft glow across the room. A sprig of eucalyptus leans from a glass jar nearby, its scent subtle, grounding. Everything in this house whispers, "You are safe here. You are held by structure, by care, by the kind of order that doesn't demand perfection, only presence." The walls are cream and quiet. The floor is smooth and matte, warm beneath your feet. Nothing startles, nothing overwhelms. Even time feels like it slows here, not dragging, but unfolding, gently, purposefully. You walk upstairs and find a balcony with a small table and a single chair. A plant grows peacefully in the corner, green, haunted, and tended. From this vantage point, you can see the whole garden, the soft curve of the lawn, the bike resting below. The breeze brushes your cheek. The wind chime sings again, low, precise, content, and for a moment, nothing more is needed. You sit in the chair, and the sky around you is dark blue and full of quiet stars. Not flashy, not shouting, just being. You may continue this journey if you're ready for more, or perhaps this is the pause you need, the stillness your body has been craving, the simplicity your mind has longed for. Let yourself stop. Let your breath find its rhythm. Let the neatness of this space settle into your bones. Sleep if you wish. I'll be here, and so will the next chapter, waiting patiently, just like Virgo would. Chapter 8, Libra, the House of Harmony. The path ahead is soft, like walking on velvet moss under a sky of quiet stars. You notice a subtle shift in the air, lighter, sweeter. A faint scent of lavender dances on the breeze. Like a whisper, you follow it. Soon, you arrive before a house unlike any other. It isn't grand, it isn't small, it is balanced perfectly. This is the house of Libra. The home curves in two even halves, draped in soft green vines shaped like leaves. Golden fairy lights arc across the top like a celestial crown, glowing with a warm, diffused light. The architecture feels timeless, part old world, part modern cottage. Symmetry defines everything. Two arched entryways, two glowing lamps, two perfect circles, windows that mirror the sky on either side. And at the very center, the symbol of Libra rests above all, carved into a wooden crest, as if the house itself breathes equilibrium. You step into the garden first. The path is made of smooth, circular stones, each spaced with perfect care. Around them bloom a palette of pastel flowers, lavender, daisies, soft pink peonies, and golden marigolds, arranged in clusters that balance both texture and color. A small patch of ornamental grass sways gently nearby, echoing the rhythm of a breeze you can barely feel. There is no noise here, only softness, only peace. Inside, the house is bathed in golden light. On one side, a bedroom awaits, simple but graceful. A bed with creamy linens rests beneath a large window, its curtains drawn halfway open to let the starlight in. Matching nightstands hold twin lamps that glow like candlelight. A framed painting of a sunset hangs on the wall above the headboard, neither too bold nor too faint, just peaceful. The room smells of clean cotton and faint lavender. You breathe in and then out. The space seems to breathe with you. Across the arched hallway lies a reading room, perfectly mirroring the bedroom in size and warmth. A circular window above the desk reflects the moonlight like a second moon. Bookshelves rise on either side, filled with classics and poetry, each one chosen carefully. An open book rests on the desk, mid-thought, a pen beside it. It feels like someone just stepped away, leaving balance behind in their wake. There's music here too, barely audible, like strings played underwater. A soft piano note, a gentle harp, a melody without urgency. The walls are a muted cream, smooth and cool to the touch. The wooden furniture is polished, simple, elegant. Nothing is excessive, nothing is missing. You wander slowly, letting your fingertips glide across the bookshelf spines, the polished edge of the desk, the fabric of the curtains. Everything here has a place, and so do you. You return to the center of the house, the place where the garden peeks in, and both rooms meet. A gentle breeze flows through the open arches, carrying with it the scent of night blooms and a touch of stillness. You close your eyes, and in that pause, you feel it, a harmony not just around you, but within you. You may choose to move forward to the next house, or perhaps tonight you'll rest right here beneath the soft lights, in the space between music and moonlight. Let yourself drift. Let your mind loosen its grip. Let your heart find its center. Sleep, if you wish. The story will continue whenever you're ready, and I'll be here, in balance, waiting. Chapter 9, Scorpio, the House of Secrets. You've walked far. The air is different now. Cooler, still, dense, like velvet pressed against the skin, and somehow comforting. You don't rush. This is not a place for haste. This is a place for quiet arrivals. A dim glow appears in the distance. Not a lamp, not a lantern, a flicker like starlight reflected in deep water. You move toward it, instinct guiding your steps more than sight, and then, nestled into the slope of a moss-draped hill, half swallowed by earth and silence, you find it, the house of Scorpio. It looks like it has been here for centuries. Part stone, part root, part story whispered in shadow. 2 windows glow faintly with amber light, their shapes rounded and soft, as though drawn by a steady hand in the dark. A spiral staircase of flat stones leads up the hill's outer edge, veiled in flowering moss and dark green ivy. Tiny crimson blossoms dot the edge of each step, blooming in the shadows as if hiding something sweet. There is no front door, only a wooden arch, carved with the symbol of Scorpio, simple, strong, and strangely alive. You step inside. The air is cool but not cold. The scent wraps around you instantly, musk and clove, damp cedar, old parchment and candle smoke. The first sound you hear is subtle. Drip, tick, drip. A slow conversation between time and water. The room is small but layered. To your left, a narrow bed with dark linen, neatly made, inviting, its headboard carved with swirling designs, almost serpentine. Beside it, a wooden table holding a half-melted candle. The flame leans toward you, steady and sure. To your right, a small arched window framed in deep velvet curtains, tied back just enough to let the darkness peer in. Beyond it, nothing but purple sky and the distant suggestion of stars. The walls are covered in soft moss and dark wood, some sections rough with stone, others lined with shelves. You look closer. The shelves hold books, some open, some closed with ribbons pressed between pages. Small glass bottles rest beside them, filled with unknown liquids. One glows blue, another shimmers violet, a third contains only air, but sealed as if sacred. A black quill lies beside an empty journal. The page is blank, yet It feels like it's already written something you've only just begun to remember. Deeper still, a hidden alcove behind a heavy curtain. You push it aside. Inside is a tiny spiral staircase leading downward, lit by a faint bluish glow. You don't descend. Not tonight, but you understand now. There are more layers here than walls can hold. Not just within the house, but within you. You return to the center of the room. The ticking clock continues its gentle rhythm above the bed, its face carved into the wall. No glass, just shadow and movement. You lie down. The mattress holds you like memory, firm where it needs to be, soft where you need to let go. And you do. You let go of the long day, of the words unspoken, of the questions that followed you here. They fade into the walls like mist absorbed by moss. Above, the ceiling curves into a dome. Carved into its surface is a map of constellations, some familiar, some not. And in the center, directly above where your heart now rests, is the Scorpio star. Still, steady, watching. You close your eyes here in this sanctuary of secrets. You are not asked to explain, not asked to smile, not asked to be anything but present. The mystery of this place is not meant to be solved. It is meant to be felt. You listen one last time. Drip, tick, your breath, slow, steady, whole. You may continue your journey. There are still houses ahead, waiting quietly to meet you. But tonight, you may choose to stay here. In the hush, in the velvet dark, in the gentle unraveling of the self, let the room hold you. Let the secrets rest beside you. Sleep if you wish, and if you return tomorrow, this house will remember. I will be here, still. Chapter 10, Sagittarius, the House of Wanderers. You've walked through shadows and stillness, but now something changes in the air. It smells of pine, of cool bark, of smoke curling softly from a chimney above a forest roof. The stars feel closer here, brighter, like they're leading the way. And there it is, nestled at the edge of the woods, under a sky so open it feels infinite, the house of Sagittarius. It doesn't rise like other homes. It grows from the earth, its walls shaped like a mushroom stem, strong and round. Its rooftop stretches out like a cap of warm wood, sheltering the space like a traveler's wide-brimmed hat. Twisting up the side is a soft, moss-lined staircase leading to a curved balcony. A round window glows warmly above, with the Sagittarius constellation etched gently in golden light, shining through a bookshelf lined with rolled-up maps. Outside, the garden is free-flowing, no straight lines. Wild grasses, sunflowers, and lavender stretch where they wish. There's a fire pit just beyond the path, its ashes still warm, surrounded by tree stumps made for sitting and dreaming. The door is wood with a small round window. You press your palm to it. It swings open without a sound. Inside, the space opens up like the inside of a storybook, part forest cabin, part traveler's journal. The floor is wooden and worn, with colorful rugs spread unevenly across it. Each rug has its own pattern, woven with lines and shapes like roads crossing the desert. A single bed rests in an arched alcove, covered in a bohemian blanket of reds, oranges, and deep blues. A pillow leans gently to one side, as if someone just sat up and went outside to watch the stars. A fireplace crackles softly nearby. Its flame is small, but steady, just enough to keep the space warm and glowing. Above it, the walls are filled with memories. Photographs of mountains and oceans, a world map with tiny pins, drawings of animals, old tickets tucked into frames. It's a room full of stories, but it doesn't speak loudly. It simply offers the freedom to wonder. Next to the bed, a small table holds a ceramic mug, still steaming, and an open journal filled with wild handwriting. Inked fast and free, a pair of boots rest by the door. A feather is tucked behind a frame. On the bookshelf, travel books, poetry, a field guide to stars. You step further in. A soft wind sneaks through the high window, and you hear the faint chime of something delicate, perhaps shells strung together, or a metal bell from a faraway village. It doesn't distract, it harmonizes. You feel it now. This place isn't about arrival. It's about movement, about feeling the wind in your chest even while resting. It's not a pause. It's a breath between destinations. And yet, it welcomes sleep too, not as an end, but as a soft campsite along the way. You sit on the bed. The blanket is thick, textured, smelling of cedar and campfire. Above, a circular window lets in the night sky, deep and full of stars. You spot Sagittarius glowing high, like an arrow drawn gently toward possibility. This house doesn't hold you in, it opens you up. You feel bigger here, yet somehow lighter. You exhale, and with that breath, a quiet sense of freedom settles into your bones. You may rise again soon, to wander, to dream new paths, to follow where your fire leads. But for now, you may rest here. Let the world be wide. Let your thoughts drift outward. Let the sky above stay open, even with your eyes closed. Sleep, if you wish. You are free to stop and free to begin again anytime. I'll be here at this little house among the trees, the house of wanderers. Chapter 11, Capricorn, the House of Time. The stars have quieted now. The road beneath your feet feels firmer, worn, solid, familiar. You walk slowly, sensing something older in the air. It smells of cool stone, dry pine bark, and the faint iron tang of time. Ahead of you stands a house unlike any you've seen. Less a home, more a monument. Rooted, enduring. This is the house of Capricorn. Built from thick blocks of weathered stone, the house rises like a timeless tower, half covered in moss. Its roof slopes beneath a wide, ancient tree whose branches spread like arms overhead, protective, patient, still. Near the top of the house, a large circular clock is embedded into the stone. Its golden hands move with a deliberate grace, ticking in rhythm with the silence around it. One floor below, a warm lantern glows within a shallow arched alcove. The light does not flicker. It holds steady, just like everything else here. The stone path leading to the door is lined with clean-cut flagstones. No flowers, No wild overgrowth, just a small pot of snake plants and a sturdy wooden table with 2 chairs beside it. Simple, precise, enough. There's something comforting in its restraint. Nothing calls for your attention. Nothing tries to impress. It just exists with purpose. The door is thick and made of dark wood. You press your hand to it. It opens slowly on well-oiled hinges, like it has done so 1,000 times before. Inside, you are wrapped in stillness, not the silence of emptiness, but of presence. The space is dim but not dark, lit by a single hanging lantern, its glow casting gentle shadows on the stone walls. The scent inside is of old leather, cedar, and dust warmed by time, a kind of peaceful, dignified age. You notice the sound now, a slow, deep ticking from above, measured, reassuring. It doesn't rush you, it reminds you there is time and you're exactly where you should be. A staircase curves upward to the loft. The wood is worn smooth by years of careful feet. Each step creaks softly, like it remembers every soul that's climbed it. But down here, at the base of the tower, a writing desk waits. On it, a leather-bound journal, a fountain pen, and an old brass compass. Beside them, a book of poetry rests open to a page that reads, "The mountain does not ask you to climb, but when you do, it remembers. You run your fingers across the spine. You feel steadier just standing here. A single bed sits tucked under the loft stairs. Its woolen blanket is deep gray and heavy with warmth. The pillow smells faintly of sage and clean linen. You sit down. The mattress holds you with quiet strength, firm and grounding. Your back rests against the cool stone wall, and for the first time all day, your shoulders drop. Nothing here asks you to perform, or hurry, or change. This house believes in long paths, slow growth, lasting foundations. It doesn't rush to comfort you. It trusts that you will settle when you're ready. You lie down, listening to the old clock tick above. Each beat echoes through your chest, syncing with your breath. You feel your thoughts slow, your body soften, and the world fade into stillness. You may rise again tomorrow, climb higher, write something new, but for now, you may rest here, let time hold you, Let this quiet tower remind you that not all strength is loud, not all progress is fast, and not all healing needs to be bright. Sleep, if you wish. You are on solid ground. You are carried by stone and watched over by time. I'll be here until you return. Chapter 12, Aquarius, the House of Dreams. You've walked through stone, wood, moss, and flame, but now the ground feels less like earth and more like air. The stars above are no longer distant. They shimmer as if just beyond reach, familiar, curious, alive. And then, like stepping into a vision stitched from stardust and memory, you arrive, the house of Aquarius. It doesn't resemble a house in the usual sense, more like a capsule, a sanctuary grown from a dream of the future. Smooth walls curve in perfect arcs, dark and elegant, softened by vines that glow faintly with bioluminescence. A tree glows electric blue at the edge of the garden, its leaves pulsing like breath. The circular door opens without touch. You step inside. The floor is soft, cushioned with some strange moss that's neither cold nor warm. Everything is quiet, but not silent. You hear the subtle hum of energy moving, like the low pulse of the universe thinking. To your right, a bed floats just slightly above the floor. Its linens ripple with tiny lines of soft neon light, cool blues. Gentle silver, they move slowly, like palm waves tracing your breath. Above the bed, a ring of light glows like a moon orbiting the room. You lie down, even just for a moment, and feel your entire body exhale. A winding staircase leads upward, thin and elegant. With each step, a faint light responds beneath your feet. You ascend into the upper dome, part observatory, part creative sanctuary. There's a sleek writing desk facing the stars. On the wall, a circular window opens to the galaxies beyond. A screen glows with graphs, constellations, handwritten notes floating gently across its surface. A swivel chair waits before it, inviting, not demanding, and beside it, a book lies open on a floating shelf. Its pages are blank, but glowing. It's ready for ideas not yet spoken. The room is cool, kissed with the faint scent of mint, eucalyptus, and rain on metal. Somewhere near, a wind chime hums, not in tones, but in frequencies, and in the corner, a crystal tub shimmers, filled not with water, but with something more fluid than light, more forgiving than silence. It's a place to soak, not the body, but the mind. Outside, fireflies drift lazily through the garden, leaving trails of gentle luminescence behind. A pathway of dark glass tiles curves among moss patches and strange low plants with silver-veined leaves. Nothing grows wildly, yet nothing is contained. Everything in this place is both grounded and unrooted, like Aquarius itself. You sit again by the round window. The stars stare back, not cold but curious. And for the first time, you feel seen not just as you are, but as everything you could become. There's no end here, no full stop, only the invitation of possibility. You may rest now, or think, or dream new futures beneath this sky. You may sleep, or float. There are no rules here, just space. Sleep, if you wish. Let your thoughts dissolve. Let the light hum carry you. And if tomorrow brings a new idea, wild, strange, free, know this house will be waiting, just beyond the stars, the house of dreams. Chapter 13, Pisces, the House of Sleep. The stars have quieted, the wind has calmed, and now it is time. Your journey has brought you far through woods, towers, gardens, oceans of light and shadow. But now you come to a place that doesn't ask for footsteps. It only asks for stillness. This is the house of sleep, the house of Pisces. Tucked quietly under a sky so deep it feels like velvet, the house glows softly in shades of sea foam and dusk lavender. Its shape is round, cocoon-like. There are no corners here, only curves, gentle, soothing. A circle of stepping stones leads you to the door, surrounded by pots of blooming hydrangeas and trailing jasmine vines. They sway ever so slightly in a breeze you cannot hear, as if dreaming while awake. The door is arched, smooth and warm beneath your hand. Inside, the world fades to hush. The walls are soft green, like the surface of the sea at twilight. A delicate ladder leans against one wall, leading to a painted window where two golden fish drift in an underwater garden, still and suspended. A round lamp on the nightstand glows like the moon caught in amber. It lights the space not with brightness, but with comfort. The bed sits low to the ground, wrapped in linens of pale ocean blue with daisy patterns scattered like floating petals. A gauzy white canopy drapes from above, catching the light in threads of silver. A painting of a quiet horizon hangs above the pillow. You don't need to look at it for long to know it's familiar, as if it was painted from your own memory, long ago. There is a rocking chair in the corner, and curled upon it, a sleeping cat. Its breath rises and falls in slow, steady waves, just like yours. The scent in the air is soft and watery, lavender, chamomile, and a trace of salt, as if the sea were just beyond the walls. The room hums gently, not with machines, but with the music of comfort. A faint melody plays from nowhere, like the echo of a lullaby once heard in a dream. And somewhere in the distance, a tide rolls in, again and again, soft as a whispered thought. You lie down. The bed receives you like the ocean receives a shell. You do not fall, you float. The air is neither cold nor warm, just right. Your fingers unclench, your jaw softens, your breath slows. You are not here to do anything. You are only here to be. There is no clock, no signal, no call to rise, only the rhythm of waves against the shore of your soul, and the stars watching, not as distant things, but as friends. So sleep, if you wish. You have wandered far enough. You have held enough. You have dreamed enough for today. Let go. Let the house of Pisces carry you across the gentle tide of night. Let your thoughts dissolve like sea foam. Let your mind quiet into soft waters. You are safe now. Let the stars watch over you tonight, and dream gently. Thank you for joining me on this peaceful journey. If this story brought you comfort, don't forget to subscribe to Dreamer's Realm. There's a new path waiting for you in the next video, and I'll be right here, gently guiding you again. Good night, my dear dreamers.